This is the Chameleon application. You'll see it running on a normal Windows 7 desktop. There's a Microsoft Word running on the left. We actually have an Excel spreadsheet running on the right. And you can see something funny happening to the display. This is protecting the last 2 feet of the network. The operator is looking at the screen right now and is reading it. He can read it just fine. And anyone else who's looking over his shoulder sees this confusing jumble of misinformation. What's happening is Chameleon is collecting information from a small sensor that shows exactly where the user's looking on the display at any point in time, and drawing the screen around the user's point of view such that wherever he looks, he can read. He's now reading. It says an official authorized to do original classification or an individual following rules in a classification guide might legitimately, if confusingly, classify a collection of unclassified facts. And so I know you can't believe that that was actually happening, but it was. The user was able to read it. And to show you, let me show you where I'm reading now. It says the former decision is original classification. A great majority of classified documents are created by derivative classification, and so on. For example, if one piece of information is taken from, and so wherever the user looks, he actually sees true information. But we're replacing what he sees with false information everywhere that he's not looking. He looks at the word disclosure, he sees it. He looks at the top left, looks at the bottom right of the word green men, and so on. Everything he looks at comes true effectively, and it works in a variety of different applications. Here we've got what could be tactical data, spreadsheets, and so on, latitude, longitude, time, code words. It's actually just a spreadsheet. And whatever the user looks at, the numbers show true numbers, and every other number that he's not looking at is displayed as a false number. And so it's a very hard problem for an adversary looking over his shoulder or using a Tempest attack or hidden camera. This is a 5-year pro forma. Sales and gross margin, sales revenue in 2012 will be $80 million. On expenses for advertising and promotion in 2010 of $500K. But if the user's not looking at those numbers, they change to false numbers, but equally plausible false numbers within the range of the original numbers. And so in this particular application, it doesn't matter how closely someone looks over your shoulder, they're not going to be able to understand what's coming out of the display. And the other thing that's interesting is this is a real live Word document. We haven't done anything to Word. Word's not even aware that we're here. And so I can type. And what I'm typing is, this is a real document. If I look at it closely, I don't need to look at it when I type, but this is a real Word document. And you can see it there on the screen. I can work on it completely normally. And again, if I look at it, you'll see it says I can look at it, I can work on it completely normally. So quite an amazing application. Protects the last 2 feet of the network, makes sure that you can read a classified document in a crowded room and no one else can look over your shoulder and read it. If you'd like more information, please contact us at Oculus Labs, www.oculuslabs.com, OCULISLABS, and we'd be pleased to set up a demonstration.